Welcome back to JLC TV, the show where we take our £15 million distribution business to a £100 million distribution business. And we started with only one person, we now have 50 staff. And yeah, the trials and tribulations of running a business. We have a few questions that were asked on yesterday's episode, so we're gonna get into them. And actually today we're driving back. So we're driving from our office here in Holland, Almelo. Almelo is the town. We're driving 10 hours back to Bristol. So tomorrow we will be working in Bristol. And it's a 10-hour drive. It's gonna be a good day. But after UBC, let's lock up. So we're leaving the guys here. They had a pretty decent day in Europe yesterday. We did 2,400 euros. Not a crazy day, as you guys know from the other episodes. It takes £3 to win them breakfast, so no breakfast has been won for this office. But actually, Owen still works on the UK stuff, so he's won breakfast for UK for himself. So, yo, oh, make sure you get your breakfast because you won it, all right, bro? For yourself. I'll catch you later. But we're strict on it, all right? So UK won breakfast. UK has to do £30,000 to win breakfast. They did 45K, so decent day in the UK. But yeah, what we've done sometimes in the past, and I'm the worst person for this, is I'm like, don't worry. Yeah, well, UK won breakfast, so we'll get you both breakfast. But I think that doesn't push people enough. So now I'm being strict on it. And even though it's not a lot of money because it's only 6 people's worth of breakfast, I think people work towards breakfast. So next week, I'm coming back out here on my own and Beak's gonna stay back to look after the UK. And then I have a week out here. I'll make sure I'm filming JLC TV and you guys are gonna have to stay subscribed and stay tuned if you wanna see what's going on with that. I sometimes think like, how crazy is this? That we're just driving from like office to office. Like, this is my life. This is like Beak's life. How crazy?
So crazy, isn't it? So random.
So random. And like, I wouldn't have life any other way, you know? No. Who would have thought that a job would exist that's traveling between Holland and UK, distributing IT peripherals and making YouTube videos every day? Okay, fisheye lensed it?
Yeah, fisheye lensed.
All right, guys, what we're trying to do, right, is keep it interesting, despite the fact that we haven't got Marshall editing the videos, all right? So if there's any rough and ready parts in the episode, you'll have to forgive me. But hopefully it's been an interesting week. We obviously got another episode to film tomorrow. And obviously I have a lot of responsibilities with running the businesses. It's trying just to film it and then me put it up and still get the other stuff I need to get done. So hopefully you're still enjoying it. I know we have a few questions today, right?
Yes. So we have questions.
All right, we had 5 questions, I think, yesterday on yesterday's video. So I really appreciate it, guys. Any other questions you got about today's episode, or sorry, the business in general? Like I said, obviously we got 6 people in our Holland office, and we are now driving back to our UK office where there's like 40 people there, and yeah, busy. 2 of us in the car.
Okay, so the questions are from a guy named Scott.
Okay, Scott. Hi, Scott.
Scott asks, number 1, hiring and firing. How do you do it?
Really, for hiring, we just want people who are willing to learn, you know, like it's not that important what their education is, what their previous experience is. Also, obviously there's certain roles where education is very important, like take it someone in accounts or even in sales. You quite want someone with experience because you don't want someone coming in who's maybe not confident or whatever. But even then, it's not been a stop, you know. Like we've taken plenty of people who had no experience into a role where a lot of employers would say you need experience, and we've had great success. So yeah, a lot of it's done on intuition, I think, is the answer then. Like, we try, if we think that someone really deserves a chance, we'll give it. And in terms of firing, so measure twice, cut once. I do not like firing anyone if we can help it. And it doesn't come from a place of like, I don't like the conversations. Of course I don't like the conversations. No one likes the conversations. But I view my job as a leader. If I have to fire someone, then I've messed up, you know? Like, did I make a mistake hiring someone? And you get a lot of cop-out people where they're like, yeah, but I do think that it's your duty to make it work. Like, they worked for many years at their last job. That's why they're working with you, because you did the references. So what is it about you as a leader which can't get this poor person to work? And when you restructure it like that, it puts some blame back on you and you'll make it work. Like, I'll be honest with you, we've fired quite a few people, not any more than any other company, but quite a few people back in the day that I think, with the way that I see the world now, I could have made them work. But, you know, it's experience. So, yeah. But if someone needs to go, they need to go. If someone does something where they need to go and there's no coming back from it, I'll get rid of them on the spot, because nothing worse than leaving toxicity in the business. But
everything has to be done legally the right way, morally the right way, and the morally right way is separate to the legal way, because okay, maybe this person's messed up and you could have given them warning, but is that the right thing to do? And if the boss that you most looked up to in this world was seeing the way you were behaving, would they be like, yeah, I'm proud of you? And if the answer is no, then maybe you should reconsider it. So yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. Question number 2, sales targets and incentives. Can you talk more about how you attract and incentives?
Okay, so when it comes to incentives, people are targeted on the money it requires to cover the bare minimum, their seat and the costs around them. So what are the costs around them is logistics support, operational support, accounting support. So when the salesperson comes in, you could think, oh, well, they just got to cover their salary. And it's not that simple, because the infrastructure and the network, we have about 10 salespeople, but a team of 50 people, you know, so each person basically has a support network of 4, if you look at it as like a grander scale thing. So we set up targets so that people have to get to certain levels, and the targets increase when they get to a point of profitability within the company. Obviously, it's not a black and white, because every business is different, so I don't want to get into the intricacies of what we do for our particular, but what I think is best is targeting people where they cover the financial burden of them. Now, what you might have is 3 or 4 salespeople who are really, really experienced while you're training a couple of people, and on that basis, you need the experienced people to have a higher level of target on them so that they can cover the burden of the new talent that you're training. So that's what I do. Hopefully that makes sense, and it's hard for me to give an answer that would help anyone out with their own business, seeing as every single one is different.
Perfect, thanks James. Okay, question number 3, what is your leadership style?
Leadership style is, I wouldn't ask anyone to do something I wouldn't do myself. I make sure I lead from the front. So like when things are going bad, I make sure I'm with everyone doing things bad. I'm with everyone when they're dealing with the things that are tough. I've seen too many times in the past that managers who like shun or hide away when things are bad, and even being one of those members of staff seeing it, you just lose complete respect for them. So everything's about respect. Like, respect goes both ways. I treat my staff with complete respect. I never speak to them in a derogatory way, and they would attest to that, and in turn I don't get spoken to in a bad way. So yeah, I think there's a good saying, those who want respect give respect. And I think there's a lot of managers who treat their staff as if they're better than their staff. Like, yo, within the confines of those buildings, you might outrank them in terms of hierarchy, but you're not better than anyone, bruh. And in a second, your money could get taken away, and you'll see that person on the street, and they'll have a lot to say about the way you treat them. So yeah, I think it's important to know that, you know, we're all the same. And those who want to be treated well, treat others well. And that goes in life as well, bro. I get a lot of people who will moan about how this and that, and I think, yeah, but you're not nice to other people yourself. So, yeah, that's my leadership style.
Nice, thank you, James. And Scott also left a comment. He said, PS, lose the subtitles, the giant purple is so distracting.
All right, Scott, I think we're going to keep subtitles in for another episode, but I'll just lose the purple and make them smaller, and then you can comment down below, is this a better alternative? Because I've had a few people say that it keeps them hooked in because it's engaging. So please give us some feedback on today's episode.
And also, one last question from Scott.
Yeah, fire away, Scott.
What's the end goal? Exit? ?
You know what, like, I'm sure one day my company will sell, because that just seems to be the progression of things. But I genuinely couldn't think of anything worse than selling my business now, because what I've seen from people is they sell a business and they're like, trust me, life's not all about money. I worked my ass off, and then when I sold it, I wasn't happy. Like, yo, bro, that's because you got it all wrong. It was never about money. It was about you having a purpose. So that's why you have to be very careful. Someone comes to you and they say, I don't know, I'm not gonna guess numbers to what JLC.Distribution is worth, but I know it's worth a significant amount of money. But if someone came up to me and gave it to me, like, cool, now I have enough money in my bank where I don't have to work again, okay. But like, this was what I ate, slept, and breathed, you know? Like, this is my whole reason for being. Like, I probably sleep for 5 or 6 hours a day, a night, whatever you want to call it, a day. There's 365 days in the year. Okay, I sleep a day, you call it a day, right? So I sleep for 6 hours a day. other than that, probably 2 minutes doesn't go by where I'm not thinking about working. And not from a sad way, like life's all about work. Like, no, I love my work. I love everyone in it. I love like the building of it. It's like we're playing a game. And every day our competition is see how far we can get. And it'll be a sad day when that isn't the day anymore. So no, I'm happy that I don't have to sell the business, and I'm happy I get to keep it. So what's the plan? The plan is to see how far we can take this thing while I'm still mobile and blessed enough to be able to do so. There you go.
And we've got somebody else, SJK, asked a question.
Oh, SJK, go on.
Do you aim to own the buildings you operate from?
You know what, yeah, I think that's a really cool thing to own the buildings. I mean, we paid enough rent in our UK building now that we could have owned the building and the rent that we've given our landlord. But you know what? Sometimes you got to think, it's given us a lot of freedom to know that we can chop and change and move. So it's better. Owning property is a great thing, obviously, if you can make it work for you, but it's actually worked very well, us not owning property up to this point. However, I do foresee there's a chance that JLC will purchase its next property in the UK, probably a little while off in the Europe, because we need to try and keep our fingers on the pulse, work out to where that business is going. But in the UK, we could probably plan 5 years, and since we can plan 5 years, we could probably buy a unit. So yeah, potentially.
Great. Okay.
All right, nice.
And how far away are we from the border?
Right now, we are 4 hours, 9 minutes away from the border, 249 miles. Plan of action is to fill up more fuel.
Yeah.
And get a nice coffee. Right, Beaksy?
Yeah, out.
We have a service station here.
Services station.
A service station, sorry. We have a service station here, 700 meters coming up.
Great.
Because you know, Marshall would normally be showing like a B-reel here, and it'd be like,
yeah,
zip, zip.
Zip, zip. Yeah, he would, but this is way more fun for our viewers.
This is beautiful for the viewers.
They get to wait with us.
Get to wait with us. So, as you guys know, we go out for meals with the guys back home and out here every single week, trying to get around and different people each week. Next week on Monday, at Junior Poons in Clevedon, we have a Chinese.
One of James's favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, one of my favourite.
Junior Poons.
And with some of the guys from the warehouse who are super into conspiracy theories, so I get to sit and chat to them about conspiracy theories, which is sick. I especially requested, like, we had 2 of the 3, and then I was like, Pete, make sure you ask them. So yeah, it's gonna be sick. I could just sit and talk about conspiracy theories all day long. I love it.
Well, we've arrived.
Yeah, we've arrived.
At petroleum.
Sweet. All right, guys. Beaksy, if you get me a coffee, I'll put the fuel in.
A nice coffee?
Teamwork makes the dream work. Nah, you know what? Nah, not a nice one.
Just a coffee.
Let's go for a trash coffee today.
Alright, no sugar for you then.
Alright, no sugar, trash.
I'm going to turn this off and you're going to be like, I want sugar.
Alright, thanks Remus, no sugar, trash. I want trash.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Right, so time is 6 p.m. in the UK, 7 p.m. in Holland. Obviously we started this morning at about 9:30, so we've been driving now for like 9 hours. So crazy. Not long left, gonna get a bit of fuel and then Nando's this evening. But thanks for all the questions that we got today, guys. Really appreciate it. It actually gives us more to talk about in the episode, because sometimes we don't know what it is you guys want to hear. So yeah, I'm gonna get back now, edit the video. I'm gonna try it with different subtitles, so thanks for the comment, Scott. And yeah, guys, let us know what you think of the videos we've been doing this week. Obviously with Marshall being off, we've made it more business centered. And any comments, drop them below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Over and out.